To another episode of last week's Comics Today. This is a small week and it's heavy on Batman. Let's get straight into it. First up we have Batman 122. This is, it's part of Shadow War, but I think this is the first Batman of Williamson's that I'm reading, and it is good. Shadow War is up here, not down there. Anyway, Shadow War is up here. Eyes are up here. A few weeks back, I was talking about, well, it feels like a few weeks back, but when I was talking about Deathstroke Inc., I made a comment about Porter and hopefully finding a different colorist. So he does have a different colorist here, and I think it is better. I think it looks great. So the art's good, the story continues to be interesting. This is the, this two-page spread specifically is the League of Assassins attacking Deathstroke Inc. And we've got a bunch of things happening. So look at ninjas. The art is energetic as hell. Looks fantastic. So the story's good. The art's great. I am generally pessimistic about event books. But I think if you do a smaller crossover like this appears to be, this isn't a huge event book, even though it was months of marketing leading up to it. So far, so good. I'm hoping it stays that way. Next up, we have Batman Killing Time, issue 2. I was having a conversation with a guy I know a few days ago about Tom King, and he is a Tom King fan, as I thought I was. But really, Batman Catwoman has me questioning that. Both because the story is really not that good, and it could have been a few issues less. I feel like it's one of those Netflix superhero shows that is 3 episodes too long. This is good so far. We're a third of the way through. I don't know how well it's going to end, which is the same thing that I was saying about Supergirl, which did wind up ending well, so fingers are crossed. But so far, I think it is good. It is also vague as hell. There are references to things and allusions, and it is not very clear on what's happening. Not much happens. This is Batman slowly detecting things by beating people up. It's also Catwoman and Riddler waiting for a meet. So they are just hanging out in a cabin for most of this. And there's also them hanging out at a lake. And there's also some of this going on throughout, which I don't remember this being in issue 1 at all. So it was kind of a surprise when it opens and ends that way. It's strange. Pretty strange. I don't know what's happening there. We'll find out. I don't have this on my pull list. I am buying this off the stands 1 issue at a time. If anything goes wrong, I'll just drop out of it. I might wind up getting the whole thing, but I am uncommitted to adding this to my pull list. If that says anything, it's really my questioning of King and my like for him. Firepower 19 is the first non-Batman book this week. I'm usually vague about what happens in an issue. I don't want to spoil anything. This has been on hiatus for a couple of months. It is now back, and I think you have had time to catch up on whatever you are doing. So I'm just going to tell you, there's a big-ass dragon in this book. There it is. And people have problems with that. It is not a fantastical world. It is roughly a real-world story. There are some fantastic elements. One character has firepower, and there is now a dragon in this world. It is a modern world, not, medieval-ish fantasy world. So a lot of this is people coming to terms, sort of talk heavy. It's people coming to terms with the fact that there is now a dragon, that there is something significant stacked against them that they are up against, and there's the introduction of this guy who is, because it's a 19th issue, he tends to introduce new characters there, like Michonne, and so we get this guy. So far, he's a great character design. He doesn't really do much. There is something in the middle of this book that I want to show off because I think it's one of the best sequences that I've seen in a long time. So here we've got a 2-page spread. That dragon is roughly making a bed in the middle of a city, and we get this next, which all of these minor moments of people watching it on TV with destruction in the background, and I love everything about this 2-page spread. There he is. It's great. I remain a fan of this book. I'm glad that it's back from hiatus, and there is a discussion at the back, as all of these do. So this is a conversation between Kirkman and Samney, but over here there's a funny sequence talking about 2-page spreads, and that is highly enjoyable. And he also throws in mentions for Jonah, the other series that he is doing concurrently with this, which still surprises the hell out of me. Every time an artist puts out 2 issues in a month, nothing but praise. I love the man's work. Next is Little Monsters issue 2, and this really confirms for me that the series will be better read, I believe, as a trade instead of single issues. In my video for the first issue, I was talking about how not that much happens, but it looks gorgeous, and there is some meat on that bone. Issue 2, again, a couple of things happen. This is mostly an origin story for one of the kids, but it's great. I mean, it's Lemire and DeWin. I am longtime fans of theirs, but as far as like overall story and progress, not that much happens. I mentioned this is an origin story for one of the kids. Really, it's 2, but I can't show off the other one because that would be considered a spoiler. So this is, once again, black and white with spots of color. And it is, I think it's Vampire Kids. Vampire Kids. So this is good. It's recommended. I imagine the trade waiters will have a better reading experience. I might wind up switching this over to 2 trades. I'll see how the first arc goes and then decide from there. Lastly, another Batman book. This is a reprint of the Flashpoint Batman series that came out while the Flashpoint main series was going out 12 years ago? I don't remember. I had originally read this digitally. It was a high point of the Flashpoint series. I did like the main Flashpoint series, but I like that world overall. So this is Azzarello and Riso, 2 of my favorites, working on Batman, and this was a powerful, it was an emotional story. It was unexpected in a couple of ways. This is great, highly recommended. I know that they did collect this as part of other miniseries, but this is the 3-issue series bound together without any other stuff. This is great. If you haven't read it, highly recommended. And I now have it in physical form, which I like. I just want to show off, so if anyone is unfamiliar with Riso, and you should not be, here we get some of his art. Johnson was doing the covers, which are gorgeous as always. So yes, recommended for fans new and old. As I said, it was a smaller week, but as far as pick of the week goes, I'm gonna give it to, I think, Killing Time, which surprises me. Batman is good, solid. It's very solid. Firepower, also solid, but not, honestly, that much happens here. There's a dragon, there's people talking. It's there's a good bit near the end, which has a lot of potential to lead to some cool things, and the introduction of this character who also hasn't done much yet. He had a scene where he seemed cool, but so far, not that much. And Little Monsters, also great, but as far as both story and art, I'm giving it to Killing Time because the most happens here. It's really by default. So as I said, that is everything that I picked up this week. As always, I get all of my books from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.